representative so that then they are collected, all of them, and they can be sent to me again. I don't know whether that happened.
Yes, I did send you an email.
Which email is this?
Professor Mwera to Kenya AC.
Is it the? Sorry about that. Because I'm not seeing this. I'm not seeing that email. I'm only seeing your response to the redistribution that I shared earlier this week. And this, your classmate I was talking to, I think yesterday or the day before, is when he called me and I told him you do that. Was that done? Okay, there's another group that was supposed to be joining in. Are they in this meeting?
No, they're yet to join.
This fellow has been pestering me. Then now he wants to. Did you tell them we are meeting this morning? Because I had given him your number.
Yes, I've told the class rep.
Please resend that mail. I can't see it.
Hello.
Ismail,
Yes.
we are meeting now. Where are you?
Caesar told me at 9.
So what does that mean?
Okay, let me try.
Join in. You've been pestering me that you want us to meet. Join in and let's do this thing.
Okay.
If you don't join, anybody who doesn't join, let them not disturb me.
Okay.
Okay, Caesar, have you sent these documents?
Yes, I'm resending.
Okay, thank you. In this group, has anybody made a presentation of their work, the proposal?
No.
Not yet. So what we are looking at is the presentations, right? I'm asking, are we looking at the presentations?
You had said we will send you the proposal, then you look at them, then you'll give us the way
Okay.
forward.
Okay. Let's see the proposals. So as we wait for those documents, I think I can take you through what I'm expecting in the form of presentations. Okay, so generally what I expect of you in the form of presentations, I will just share with you my screen and I'll show you one or two, three maybe presentations and what I expect. The way we make the presentation, we want the presentation to basically cover the proposal. So the sections of the proposal generally will be also in the presentation. You will have some introduction, maybe a slide or two on the introduction. What is it that you want to study? Okay. For example, if you want to study coconut fiber, what is coconut fiber? What is where does it come from? What are the quantities that we have? You know, the general introduction that you'd make on a particular subject, and then you would then you have a slide or two on literature review, which we will also agree how that will be done. You'll have a slide or two on literature review, and then you will have no, before you get to literature review, this slides on introduction. Of course, you'll introduce the topic. You will say what the problem is that you're trying to address. So just like in the proposal document, the way you've written, you have a problem statement. So you need to outline your problem statement in the presentation. You also need to outline your objectives in the introductory, in the first slides of your presentation. So say what your objectives are, what is your general objective, and what are your specific objectives. These you will lift from the proposal once we have agreed what you're doing. You can add some other things like the scope and the limitations of your work as part of those introductory slides. You don't want to have too many slides in the presentation because you have only 15 minutes to make a presentation. So the introductory slides maybe could be 2 or 3 to capture these items. Then you would need to have slides that will capture your literature review. Again, I will show you how I want you to do your literature review, especially in the presentation. I'll show you that. I will, in these examples that I will take you through here. I'll show you that, and then after the literature review slides, you will have slides on your methodology, how you want to do the study. You'll have slides on your methodology, maybe 2 or thereabout. Then you will have, after that, you will have a slide that shows your budget, which is supposed to be in a table form, and another slide that shows your work schedule, which is basically some could be a bar chart or Gantt chart or something. You can even do it in Excel. Again, I'll show you in these examples of presentations that I'll show you. Then, as the last slides, you need to give your references. Whatever you've read in writing this proposal or in preparing this presentation, you will have slides to show a list of your references, just like the way you have at the end of your proposal a list of references. So I will take you through maybe just a few. So I don't expect your presentation to be as detailed as this one that I'm showing you, because this was a Master of Science Civil Engineering structural option. This was an MSc thesis defense. Okay, so she put in a lot of stuff. It's a lady student. So of course you have one slide. The first slide has got the title of your work, and I hope you guys are taking notes, because if I see things that I did not say, we will not be very good friends. I have a lot of students, and I cannot keep repeating what I am saying because I do not have time to do that. So I hope you're taking notes. So you have the first slide, which talks about, says which institution. It gives the title of your subject. It says who you are. It gives your name and your registration number, and it says who your supervisor or supervisors are. The second slide gives contents of the presentation. Okay, so this is a general contents, not page by page. You see, is like this lady has only highlighted 5 items, though the numbering is not correct. There are 5 items, and she has about 52 slides. So it's just the general like chapters of what is contained in the presentation. So as way of introduction, she gives a background of what she's trying to study. Just to remind you, performance of silica fume and silica flour on strength retrogression phenomenon in cement paste and mortar at elevated temperature. Okay, so this was her topic. So she lays a foundation on what is strength retrogression and things like that. Okay, now the other thing I want you to notice is that the slides are not full of text. The slides are more of pictures and figures as opposed to texts. This is how I want you to make your slides. And I'll give you examples. I'll show you, if I can pull them out, I'll show you examples of undergraduates who've done a good job as well. Okay, so it's just, not a lot of text. It's just minimal text and more figures. I'll show you some others that are even better than this. Okay, so that's how I want you to, so you see, a slide is just figures and one line of text. So then you just tell us what is in that slide, in those photos or those sketches or that equation or something. This is how I want you to write your slides. I don't want you to say too many things. So you put figures and you put maybe 1 or 2 sentences, and then when you get to the slide, you just tell us what is in that slide. This information you should know. Okay, so this is how I want you to do your slides. Okay, then you have a list of references at the end of the presentation. Okay, so this is one example. I'll show you a few so that then you get a feel of what I'm expecting. Here, let's see what Millicent did. Defense presentation. Okay, this is another example of again, this lady was a master's student, finished 2022. The other one was 2023. Effect of temperature and relative humidity on the self-healing efficiency of bacteria and of fly ash in concrete. Okay, so there's a title, there's the name, there's a registration number, there's the supervisors, and there's an outline. What is contained in that presentation? Then is introduction, figure, no much stories, introduction, figure.
Excuse, Prof.
Yes, please.
The screen isn't shared.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So I was saying is the title, effect of temperature and relative humidity on the self-healing efficiency of bacteria and of fly ash in concrete. There's the name of the student, there's registration number, there's a list of supervisors. There's an outline of the presentation. Then there's introduction. She put a little bit of text here. Then the next slide is basically a figure, and then she has to say what is the stories. This is more or less of a figure. If it's text, it's not too much text. Is large fonts. It's just a few bullet points. Okay. So you limit the amount of text that you put. That's what makes a presentation bad. Okay. Materials and methods. So how are the materials acquired? Just one slide, a few words. Then how were they tested? One slide, photos, sieve analysis, specific gravity, AIV for cause aggregate, specific gravity, ACV, just a figure and maybe the name of or an image or something, and that way it makes the presentation very nice to sit down and listen to or to watch. So she worked with bacteria. This is how the bacteria was done, and without saying a lot of stories, she just put pictures, she labeled those pictures, and then in the presentation she explained what was happening. So there's streaking, there's after incubation, there's subculture in nutrients broth, there's a shaker incubator, there's the bacterial solution. She was using bacteria to try and see if she can create self-healing concrete. The concrete cracks, and because of the bacteria, it heals back. Okay, so this is what I generally expect of you, that you will make presentations that are actually presentations and not copy-pasted text from your Word document. Let me show you. I'll show you one or two more. Seconde was good. Allergo was good. Let me show you allergo. Okay, so this is another gentleman, also a master's student. Okay, so this fellow, also master's degree, effect of gamma arabic as partial replacement of cement on the structural performance of laterite blocks. So there's the name, there's the title, there's the university, and there's the list of supervisors. Contents. So you see, there's no fixed format of how you make your presentation. That's part of what I want you to pick. So contents, then some form of introduction. Okay. So instead of saying a lot of stories, puts pictures and then says what walks the audience through those pictures or figures or something, and it's very nice presentation. You see, very little words and images and pictures, and it says a lot more. And of course, you have your objectives. As we said, you need to have your objectives. Okay, then literature review. You notice it's not too much. Text. Okay. Mainly figures. This is what I want you to do. Okay. Materials and methods. This is methodology. Instead of writing too many stories, figures and a little bit of text, and it makes it very interesting to just sit down and listen to. Okay, materials and methods, what he was doing. Okay, this slide was not very good, too much text. Okay, but then I hope you get the feel of what this, so that's what I expect you to do. So then results and discussions, it's just figures and tables, and then he tells us what was interesting in this and what is the science and everything in the presentation. And this was really nice presentation, I thought. Okay. It's just results and discussions. Okay, but I want you to see. Okay. I'm trying to look for. There were some undergraduate students who did a good job. I wanted to show you those as well. Oh, let me show you one extreme end. One extreme end. Yeah, this is a PhD candidate at the University of Nairobi. There is an extreme end. This guy, I thought, really nice presentation. So this was his proposal for the PhD. Okay, what he's doing for his PhD, structural health monitoring for bridges, embedded sensor-based deformation detection using finite element and artificial intelligence. Okay, so that's the title. Then he puts his name there, he puts his supervisors' names there, he puts the university there. The second slide is an outline of the presentation. Okay, then he has introduction. All the introduction he needed to do on this topic, on this proposal, is captured on this one slide. Just figures and just very little text and everything. And he said everything on the introduction on this one slide. Goes to the next slide and outlines the entire problem statement on one slide. It says problem is we have a limitation in visual inspection, there is insufficient data, there is a lack of robustness, so he wants to introduce this finite element, and this system can be useful to roads agencies. All the problem statement is in one slide. Okay, then he has one slide that outlines all the objectives. Literature review, 2 slides, this slide and the next one. Justification, 1 slide, 2 sentences. Methodology, 1 slide. So all the methodology he proposed to do for his PhD is captured in this 1 slide. Very clearly, very clearly. Then expected results, 1 slide. Work plan, 1 slide. Presentation finished. 11 slides. PhD research proposal. Excellent presentation. And we had this was presented in a whole hour. What you see as 11 slides. So you don't need to write a lot of stories, a lot of text. The more you put in some bit of figures, some bit of photos, and then you put a bit of text, and then you give us the stories in the presentation, and then that becomes very nice and very interesting. Unfortunately, I cannot find these presentations that were done by your colleagues in this university. Last year and the year before. Some students did really good. Yeah, I found them. Great. I found them. Let me show you what this fellow called Chacha did. Maybe some of you might know Levy. Levy was awarded a first class honors degree last year. Let me show you his presentation, so that you don't think he's only the higher degree students who can make good presentations. I thought these presentations were really good. Comparative study of BS and EC standards in the design and analysis of a G+12 high-rise residential building using ETAB software. So that's the title, what the details of the student and the supervisor. Outline. Introduction, one slide, everything is captured there, all the thoughts. Okay. Problem statement, one slide, very little text, everything is captured there. This is undergraduate. You know, this guy graduated December last year. Objectives, one slide, very little text. Justification, one slide. Okay, justification, one slide. Literature review. No, this was, I think, how many slides with this? Yeah, 2 slides. Literature review. Only the very core, most important. He even went ahead to propose a research gap. One slide, very little text. Methodology. One slide, methodology. Said everything he wanted to do in this one slide. Then schedule of activities, what I was telling you. Budget, one slide. References, finished. 13 slides. Very nice presentation. Very nice presentation. This was an undergraduate EICQ 00247 2017. Graduated last year, December. Let me show you one more. I'm just showing you the direction you should go and not the direction you should not go. Not this one, this wasn't good. Didn't like that. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I didn't like this. Some guys were even copy pasting things. That made me very angry. So Stephen's presentation was also agreeable. Let me show you this guy's presentation. So this guy also graduated last year. His name is Njai Stephen. Okay, he put in a little bit of text, but it was not too bad. So you go to your outline, and you go to an introduction. I don't like this. This is too much text. I don't like this. Somebody wants to say something? Brian, you're okay. He's switched off his mic. Okay. So I don't like this too much text, but I like the figures. You know, it's a figure and just some little text. Not too much text. Then there's a figure and is not too much text. That way you make the presentation. You see, people like seeing figures and images and photos. They're easier to comprehend than text. So you see, like this figure, you could have written a lot of paragraphs to just explain what one can see, in a second and understand what you're talking about. Okay, so problem statement, a few sentences there, objectives, a few sentences, justification, a few sentences. Okay, this slide is just figures to say the types of maths, a literature review. Okay, then it put too much text here. I didn't like that. It's too much text. Methodology, not bad. methodology, budget, schedule, and references. So I don't know whether there are ladies here, but gentlemen, this is what I expect for the presentation. Let me check whether these documents have come. Caesar, you sent this to which email?
Professor John Mwero at Kenya.
Okay, because I think I've opened my other email. That's why I'm not seeing it. Add account. It's to Kenya email. Okay. Yeah, I can see these here. Yeah, there are many. Okay, so we will try and go over these quickly so that we don't stay here the whole day. Is Anthony in this meeting?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll scroll through, I will tell you my thoughts, and you need to take note of that quickly, and so that you address those comments. One, this is not the format for the front page for the proposal. So you need to check and confirm the correct format. Did we agree on this topic, Anthony?
Yes, we agreed.
Okay, great. You need to justify the document. You see, if you look at these paragraphs here, the two edges are neat, both of them. If you look at these paragraphs here, one edge is nice and neat, the other edge is not. To investigate the effect of on properties of concrete when partially replacing cement with a mixture of banana peel ash or wood ash. Specific objectives have got to be numbered. So, Anthony.
Yes.
Kwanza tuone huyu Anthony ni mgani. Anthony, hebu hakisha kamera yako. Switch on your camera, we see your face.
Okay, where my laptop?
Why did I expect that? Everybody says that. Anthony, I expected you to say yes where you are, or maybe your laptop is not working, or your phone does not have a camera or something. I expected that.
But I can try.
No, it's okay. If it's difficult, just leave it. So you'll number this workability. Okay, so you don't. Do you investigate? Do you analyze the workability of cement or concrete? Concrete. So you change that. What is this? Remove this. Okay.
Okay.
The research questions have got to be drawn from each of the specific objectives. So you cannot have 2 research questions and 4 or 3 specific objectives. Each specific objective generates 1 research question. Ensure you quote this. in your presentation so that professor is happy. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Professor Koteng is a leading authority on concrete. Yeah. Okay, I think that looks okay. What have you covered here? Concrete, cement, quarry. You don't need to tell us about quarrying. Where is this coming from? We don't want to know about manufacture of cement. This is not right. Okay. So all this on manufacture of cement, just remove. Tell us about the pozzolans. Tell us about concrete. Tell us about cement, but don't tell us how cement is manufactured. It's irrelevant. Remove that completely and put in only relevant. So hydration of cement is relevant. This one you can put. Pozzolans is important. You put that. Okay, but then you need to tell us how concrete behaves when pozzolans are added. How pozzolans affect the plastic concrete, the hardened concrete, the strength in a few days and in many days, durability, things like that. That's what you need to tell us, but not manufacture of cement. Do you have this furnace?
Yes, I can get it at home at Kisii.
At Kisii, no. Are you in Kisii now, Anthony?
No.
Where exactly in Kisii?
Near Koi place.
What institution? Or you have kilns in your home?
Yes, I can make it at home.
Sorry, let's go slowly, Anthony, and please don't make a joke of this exercise. You will make a kiln at home.
Yes, that's what I had
Do you know
planned.
what a kiln is? Do you know what a kiln is? And the kind of kiln that we expect for this work, or we need for this work?
Okay,
You
no.
cannot make a kiln at home. Okay?
Yes.
Anthony.
Yes.
Hiyo haiwezekani bwana. But there I was in Keroka, was it on Friday last week? I was in Keroka. You know Keroka?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a church just near there, big Catholic church surrounded by schools. I was there. Unfortunately for some funeral. You cannot make this kiln at home because we need this material to be burnt. If you had read pozzolans, if you had done enough literature review on pozzolans, you'd have found out that you need to burn the organic material at particular temperature ranges for you to get a reactive material. Nasikia Anthony?
Yeah.
Kwa hivyo utafute mahali kiln niko yenye inaweza kuchoma at the required temperatures. Go read, find those required temperatures because it's not any temperature. Find those, then find a place where they have. Actually, it's a furnace. It's not a kiln. It's a furnace. The furnace that can burn at those temperatures. And a good place to start looking for that kind of furnace is mechanical engineering at the university. They would probably have the furnace or chemistry laboratories or physics laboratories. But mechanical engineering is the best place to start from at the university. Okay, if you can't find there, you go to railways. It's a numerical machining complex. They would have furnaces there that can give you those temperatures. Okay?
Yes.
But don't tell us you will make a kiln. People will think you're high on something. That's not good. So Anthony.
Yes.
Okay, characterization, cause aggregates, sieve analysis procedure, fine aggregates procedure, concrete design mix, DOE, test for workability, slump, procedure, casting of concrete cubes. You want to also test tensile splitting. Okay?
Yes.
Tensile splitting or modulus of rupture, one of those two, so that we can get a feel of the tensile strength of the concrete. Sawa sawa.
So.
Okay. What is this? What is this reference? It's something from a journal.
Yeah.
Okay, so your references are really, really wrong. They're not complete. Go back to your first year communication skills or something and check how to properly do references, or ask Google. This is not acceptable. Sawa sawa.
So.
Okay, great. Anton, you have any other question?
No other questions. I'm okay.
Bill, is Bill in the group, in the meeting? Bill? Hello, Bill, yuko kwa mkutano ama still enjoying holidays? Bill Clinton. The fellow didn't show up. Caesar, watu wako bana,
Yes.
your people are making a joke of this exercise, eh? And then they'll come disturbing me in the course of and I have a lot of classes I'm trying to teach. So that's why it's difficult to catch me in the course of the week. We can't have a relaxed time the way we're having a relaxed time now. Boris Abuya. Boris, are you in the meeting?
Amen.
Excellent. Can we see your face, Boris? It's always good to talk to people that you know you're talking to.
There are no lights here.
Well, okay. that is new. I have heard of the gadget is not working, the camera is not good. I'm working with a phone that does not have a camera. The thing of lights, I've not heard that before. All right, Boris. So we will we'll just share your document and. Okay, so Boris, I like the first page. I like the first page. I think this is towards what the university standard is. It might not be exactly correct, but at least it has the name of the university nicely. It has. I would prefer to say school. Okay, School of Civil and Resource. It has the logo, use of soapstone as a partial replacement for concrete, for cement in concrete. Now, Boris, did we agree on this topic? Boris? Boris? Boris, did we agree on this topic? Okay, this one
Yes,
I don't think we've agreed on.
Yes.
Did we agree on this topic?
Yeah, it's the last one I brought to you.
Did I agree to it? We've not agreed on this one. You need to look for me separately. Give me a call even. So, Boris, I have too many questions I want to ask that I think it's not fair to ask them in this meeting because there's so many of us here. Though I'm not sure whether it's a good idea, but let's see. Please, Boris, you talk to me separately. Elvis Karumbi Nganga. Is Elvis in this meeting?
Yeah, I'll do.
Elvis Karumbi. Okay, so let me share your document, Bwana Elvis. The first thing is obviously this format is not agreeable. The title comes at the bottom. Elvis, this is not agreeable. Uende uangalie hiyo format ya university. We cannot be wasting time talking about the format of a document to somebody who's about to become an engineer. Okay. So acknowledgement. Oh, okay. I'm seeing the abstract is here. So all documents have got to have an abstract, which is a summary of the document. Problem statement, reinforced concrete. I didn't even check what topic this one is. Please ensure that whatever topic you're bringing, we have agreed on. Investigation of the effect of styrene butadiene rubber admixture on carbonation of reinforced concrete. Elvis, did we agree on this topic? But we didn't agree on this topic. What is this styrene butadiene rubber? What is carbonation? I know for certain we have not discussed this topic, yourself and myself. What is carbonation? Where did you copy this work from? I know for certain we did not talk about carbonation because I'm the one who supervised that PhD and it was not on carbonation. That's why I am asking, have we discussed this? And the answer is no. And I'm asking another question. Where did you copy this from? Let's discuss this separately. Musembi Mercy Ndanu. Is Mercy in this meeting?
Yes.
Great. So I am sharing a document. Mercy, the first thing is that this format is not agreeable. So you need to go and rectify this to suit, and not just the front page, and this applies to everybody. It's got to be the format of the whole document, has got to be agreeable to what the university requires. Each institution has got its own format of how documents should be written and presented. An investigation on the effects of cypress sawdust ash as a mixture in concrete. Mercy, did we agree on this topic?
Yes.
Acknowledgement, abstract. So I will not read this abstract, but it's supposed to be, the abstract is supposed to be summary of the document. So I'm seeing already you have a page of abstract, and we are at the proposal stage. I don't know whether that is a summary of the document.
It's a summary of the proposal.
Yes. Table of contents. Why are we having this broken down into chapter 1, chapter 2? I don't like this format. Okay, let's go to the content of the document itself. Chapter 1, background, problem statement. So I'm a student of this, was and still am a student of this fellow. And this guy, when I was doing my master's degree, he granted me access to Jomo Kenyatta civil engineering labs, this guy. So where is the pen? This guy. And I know this guy was a student also at Pausti. Maybe I might even have examined his work. Feels good to see people that you know are being referred to. The general objective is to investigate the effect of cypress, so dust ash on ozone mixture. Just out of interest, this is, let me see the name again. Mercy, just out of interest, what do you want this sawdust ash to do in the concrete?
I want to see whether it can improve the properties of compressive strength and some workability effects.
How do you expect it? How do you expect it to do that?
I want to see whether the compressive strength can be achieved in less a day.
The key word here, Mercy, is how. How do you expect it to do that? What is the science? Do you understand my question?
Yes.
How?
The cypress itself, it has some components similar to some admixtures, to some
What are
organic.
these components? That's what I'm asking. Mercy, what are these components? That's what I'm asking. That's the question. Does it contain gold or mercury in it?
No.
So what does it contain that makes it a good candidate for doing this thing you want to do?
It contains a good percentage of lignin.
Lignin.
Yeah, that is common in most plasticizers and super plasticizers.
So what do you want it to do? Because when I've asked you, you've said you want to improve the strength. Now you're telling me plasticizers and super plasticizers. What do you want this material to do in the concrete? Do you understand my question? You want to be clear. You want to be clear what you want this to do, so that there is. I'm asking this question because I'm seeing an inconsistency of thought. That's why I'm asking this question. And you want to make your thought process. You could even, instead of just saying admixture there, you could say as a plus size or something, so that then the thought of the reader or whoever is listening to you is very clear from the beginning that you are trying to check this as a plasticizer or something. Do you understand, Mercy?
Yes.
So we're just checking setting time, workability. Okay. Literature review. Some literature review here. I don't like this idea of advantages and disadvantages of concrete. I think it sounds a bit too basic. Now, because you want to study to focus on super plus sizes. I'm seeing something that is important that is missing from here is just the science of those super plus sizes. You know, what categories do we have? And maybe I might have mentioned this to you earlier. What categories do we have of those super plus sizes? What is their performance? And then eventually this ash that you want to use, is it ash? You want to burn this thing, right?
Yeah.
When you burn it, will the lignin survive? It will probably change into some oxide or something. Mercy. So this requires a bit of thought, eh?
Yes.
Are you getting what I'm asking?
Yes, I'm getting you.
Okay, so I can see you've done some bit of work, but I want to see on this literature review a small section on basically what super plus sizes are, what their mode of action is, how do they work, what are the general groups of super plus sizes, and this lignin that you're targeting, and probably will not come from the ash. It will just, you need to find a way to extract it from the sawdust ash without burning, because the sawdust without burning, because if you burn, I'm not sure whether you wind up with lignin. You probably burn it into some oxide of some sort. But think about it, read about it. I think if you put that here, it then will allow with the consistency up there that we are studying super plus sizes, and that is the content that you want to present in your presentation in the slides. The science that you want to present mainly should be around the super plus sizes, as opposed to, I'm seeing you put here a lot of other things, which I don't have a problem with. Those some are pretty basic. And I'm also noticing that you're not referring to the documents that you are reading, except here there's some reference, but then there are no references here. Okay, so your methodology, flowchart, okay, materials, cement, cause aggregate water, preparation of samples. You cannot say methodology within methodology. You cannot say methodology within methodology. You could say preparation of samples or something, or just remove the 3.4 and just say concrete mix design, consistency test or something, something like that. Also, I think you should add to this, tensile strength. Either, just as I told the other gentleman, either tensile splitting, or this other one, we call it what? This modulus of rupture. I think we can do both. We are able to do both. We are able to do either of them in the lab. Confirm that these references are correct. I also know this lady. I know this gentleman. I've co-supervised with him. Oh, my name is here. My name is here. This is really interesting. My name is there. This was my master's student. Yeah. Okay, great. So those are my thoughts on this one. Do you have any question?
No.
I'm thinking, because I'm seeing I'm giving quite some bit of comments, as a way forward for those that we are agreeing, we can proceed with this work, clean up the proposal, and prepare the slides as well. Clean up the proposal and prepare the slides as well, so that in our next meeting we look at the slides and not the proposals. Okay. Opening this one. This is who now? Kipkoech Obadiah. Is Kipkoech in the meeting? Obadiah, uko kwa mkutano ama namna gani?
Yes, yes.
Yes, I'm in class.
Okay, great. So let me share your document here. We look at it. And I'm doing this intentionally so that you see, you find that a lot of times the comments apply across. Maybe I might not have highlighted it in your document, but I highlight it in somebody else's document. Please just pick that and correct it. So Obadiah, I think this front page is almost headed in the right direction. Just confirm that this is the right format of the presentation. Investigate viability of the use of plastic waste as an alternative binder in the production of building blocks. Obadiah, did we agree on this?
Yes, we agreed.
Okay. I know probably I might have asked how you will melt the plastic. Did I ask that in our previous discussions?
Yes.
Have you figured that out?
Yes, I figured it out.
How do you intend to melt the plastic?
Okay, I'll melt it using a pan. Then I mix it with the aggregates.
Utakaranga kama venye wanakaranga njugu.
Yes, that's the way I think of doing it.
Okay. So you have a problem statement here. You have now, Obadiah, we cannot have this as an objective. I mean, you cannot have a paragraph as an objective. And this applies also to the rest of the group. Please, the objective should be a short, precise statement. Preferably, it should read as close as possible to the title. So if somebody reads the objective, they should feel almost as if they are reading the title of the work, the main objective. So you could say the main objective is to investigate the viability of the use of plastic waste as an alternative binder in the production of building blocks, something like that, but not this paragraph that you put here. Sasa, Obadiah.
Yes.
Determine the compressive. I'm not sure whether determine is a good word, though I'm not good with writing objectives myself. When you make the presentation, the panelists will tell you whether this is a good idea or you need to change the wording. They will tell us that in the presentation. Determine compressive strength of plastic aggregate blocks. Determine the density of plastic aggregate blocks, water absorption. Determine melting point of plastics. Now, Obadiah, I'm having a problem here. These three sound like properties of plastic aggregate blocks. So we could just say to investigate the properties of plastic aggregate blocks as one objective. Are you seeing that?
Yes, I'm seeing it.
Why do we want to find the melting point of plastics?
To know the exact temperature.
Okay, so let's have this. You can have this as an objective before the objective that unifies these three. You understand?
Yes.
So you have this as objective number 2, and this as objective number 3, and then objective number 1 could be maybe what? To characterize the materials that you want to use to make these blocks, just to characterize them. Find their density, to find if you have some aggregate. I'm imagining you'll have some aggregate, maybe fine aggregate or sand or soil or something, or clay. I know what you want to use, but then we could characterize the properties of those constituents. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
So the characterization is objective number 1. This one could be objective number 2, and then these 3 is just one objective, properties. I tell you for certain, you will not be able to even scratch the surface of this bit of environmental thing. I think you just remove this section completely. This one you'll not be able to scratch the surface. This one you'll not be able to scratch the surface. This one you'll not be able to scratch the surface. Several types of plastics. This one maybe you could be able to do as literature review. This as literature review. But if you like, you could pick, once you've done your literature review and you find that maybe the plastic water bottles are a slightly different material than the say plastic basins and buckets and everything. You say, so I want to study the two of them. So you collect enough of this and enough of this, and you make blocks, and then you have a variation. So this one you could do either from a literature review point of view, or you could even push it further to you could these bottle tops, these plastic bottle tops could be slightly different material from the plastic bottles themselves. You could decide that let me check this and this and find, or something like that. Of course, the biggest question that you'll need to deal with here is the energy input. Okay, generally the world is trying to walk away from materials that eat a lot of energy. So, what is PETE?
Polyethylene terephthalate.
What is LDPE?
Low density plastics.
What is HDPE?
High density plastics.
Collection and sorting of plastics, washing, drying, shredding. How will you shred? Maybe I should ask the question, do you even need to shred in the first place? It's food for thought. Aggregate preparation, the stone dust will be placed. Okay, weight batching, melting, compressive strength, density, water absorption. You could try to see if you could test splitting, maybe tensile, maybe mainly modulus of rupture on this material could be interesting. Probably the sample will not break, but it might be interesting to just see this, and we might be able to pick some important data on this. I will mention something else. I'll mention something else that maybe might not be very easy to test, but if you could test it, it will make this work even more interesting. This is Obadia. Nanisikiza Obadia?
Yes, I'm listening.
If you could test stress strain, if we could measure load deformation, either using this LVDT, or I don't know whether we can work with strain gauges. I don't know whether we have the data loggers, but this could be also an interesting part of this work, and that alone would make this project extremely good for an undergraduate project. Stress strain, just stress strain. Okay, work schedule has got to be that figure, that thing with bars.
Yes, I'll try to.
So please take note, find out if you can work with maybe an LVDT or strain gauges to do stress strain on this material. It might be very interesting. I am not sure whether this is agreeable. This is not agreeable. So please check these references. They don't seem to be correct. Any question?
No question.
Good. Let's see who else has documented. Suleiman, are you in the meeting?
Yes, I'm in.
Good. Okay, so I'm sharing a document here. Bwana Suleiman. Front page, not agreeable. Not agreeable. And they're usually centered. innovative construction solution, a comprehensive study of 3D printed housing in Kenya. Suleiman, did you manage to talk to these guys? Was it Bamburi?
Yeah.
Okay. What is your thought on your discussions with them?
I'm just able to go there, have a few discussions with them about the project they are doing, and get the results.
I'm told there was another one that was printed, was it in Kilifi or something?
Yeah, their houses being constructed in Kilifi.
It would be nice for you to talk to me after this. Give me a call, maybe early next week. We discuss on how best to proceed.
Yeah.
This is a descriptive project, but I think if you do it nicely, it will be really an interesting write-up. Talk to me next week. We see if there's a possibility you go where you know exactly where in Kilifi they're doing this 3D printing.
Yeah.
Where exactly?
At the Mvule Gardens.
At the Mvule Gardens.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe you could start talking to them, find out whether they can allow you to visit their site, and then we can request the university to seek official permission, documentation, whatever. And then we arrange you go and see this site at some point, Sidio.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you wouldn't want. Have you been that site before?
No, I haven't visited the site.
But have you been to that side of Kilifi before?
No.
Where are you from? Let me just out of interest.
Yeah, from Migori County.
Oh, you're from Migori, so you're from the other side of the country, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be interesting for you to just go to this site and see it. Please talk to me next week. Let's see how best we can make arrangements for this. Okay.
Okay.
But in the meantime, you could seek for the contacts for these people. See if you could start calling them maybe or something. So sour.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this is an interesting one. I hope the panel will not make a big fuss about it, because this is where the world is going. The country is trying to build low-cost housing. Part of the solutions that are being implemented is how can we build these quickly, rapidly, and aluforms. Aluforms is one of the solutions that are. Aluforms is one of the solutions that where you have the walls and everything about this building is just cast as reinforced concrete. So if you have a concrete that cures quickly, you do formwork, you cast, and you can cast a floor a day. So 10 floors you can do in 10 days. Once the foundation is done, the foundation is what takes time. There's one project that I am part of that is we're trying to do this. We're just at the foundation now. Once we get to that level, maybe you could also visit that as it's not 3D printing, but is one of the solutions that have been proposed for rapid construction, and part of the cost efficiency has been proposed in terms of time saving in construction. So once the funds are available, you can build quickly and start using the property quickly. There's some Arabs who had come here some time back, and I had contact with them, who were proposing to also use the same technology, though their projects never took off. And they were saying they do 10 stories in 10 days. Once they have the foundation done, every 24 hours they cast a new floor. So if you pass by there today and you pass by there next week, after 2 weeks, you find the thing has grown. New structure. You didn't leave. That's where the technologies are going, and it would be nice for you to even review some of these. Maybe you could even put as part of the people that you will interview these engineers who are doing this work. One of them is my friend. I could arrange you talk to him on this aluforms thing. It's really an interesting thing. So way forward, I'm thinking, Suleiman, want you to start preparing draft questionnaires. You see, this your project is descriptive, eh? So let's sit down, decide. Maybe you could sit down with yourself, decide who you think you want to interview, and prepare draft questionnaires so that yourself and myself, we can look at it. It would be nice if we could have these draft questionnaires ready by the time you make your presentation of this proposal. That's where once we are clear who we want to interview, what questionnaires we want to put in, just to pick some basic foundational information, and then like 40% of the work will have been done on this one. Establish the feasibility of implementing 3D printed houses in Kenya by examining the existing infrastructure. So these will form important questions in your questionnaires: technological readiness and economic viability. This is on the cost, and easily you could do cost comparison, compare, not to detail, we'll discuss later, with other technologies. Like that aluforms. Okay. This one will be captured easier in the questionnaires. So you talk to engineers, you talk to some architects, you talk to some contractors. So you have a questionnaire for that. Existing infrastructure. This one, the people who have done the pilots projects should be able to answer this. So the questionnaire on the pilot projects. The people who have done, these people in Bamburi and the people who are doing it in Kilifi should be able to tell you, so you should have a questionnaire with some questions that are capturing on what do we have currently that can be used. And I want to suggest to you, Suleiman, that what would be more interesting is what is the opportunity? What is the opportunity? Do we need to actually import this material or this equipment or this infrastructure, or can we create our own? And I'll tell you why I'm mentioning this. Recently, I went to inspect some steel fabrication here in the industrial area for some site. So usually we inspect it at the yard when they've fabricated it. We approve so that when they take it to site, now it's just lifting and putting. It's usually more efficient that way for the contractors. So on this particular site, on this particular yard for this contractor, he showed us this laser cutting machine, the one that you put a plate, then you put the pattern using you make the pattern using AutoCAD, and then you feed the machine, and this laser just this beam just goes and cuts. If it's circles, it cuts the circles nicely. If it's stars or if it's some shape. And he told us that that machine was designed by a Kenyan here in Kenya, bought the parts from all over the world, imported them, fabricated them, put them together, and this machine cost them half the price that they had been quoted for similar machine from China. Chinese were willing to supply this, but the Kenyan fabricator, the Kenyan guy who did this, he's a young man. The young man, he was incubated at Fab Lab. Maybe you might have heard of Fab Lab, which graduated to Gearbox. There was fabrication laboratory at the University of Nairobi, which later on graduated to be called Gearbox. Basically, an incubation lab. If you have an idea, you can go and sit there, and you have the tools, the machines for machining, for 3D printing of small components and things like that. This guy was actually incubated there not long ago. That's where he picked his skills. And this solution, this guy designed this, including the software that runs that machine. He did the code for that. So that's why I'm asking this question opportunity, Suleiman. And I think if your questionnaires are properly prepared, we could even have a question or two on what is the opportunity. Is there opportunity for us to actually to fabricate these things ourselves here locally, so that then the cost comes down and it feeds directly to this? I know I'm saying too many things. Maybe I should stop there on this one. But these are the thoughts that I think, Suleiman, you should pick, and then maybe in the coming week when we discuss, we can talk about them. Assess the long-term durability and safety of 3D printed buildings. This one you might not be able to do, but we'll refine as we go along. This one, I'm not sure whether you'll be able to do. Establish the technical specifications. Suleiman, what I've done, I've actually outlined for you what could be your objectives. This could be your 1, this could be your 2, and this could be your 3 specific objectives. So, Suleiman?
Yeah, okay.
Are you still there, or I was talking to myself?
I'm still there.
I hope you've taken notes.
Yeah.
Literature review. Literature review yako bana hapana mzuri. I'm not liking it. You should tell us. Okay, so I want you to write this literature review to answer to this possible 3 objectives towards answering to the main objective, which is this issue here. Do you understand?
Yes.
So I'm not sure whether I like the way this literature review looks. Okay, there are things that I think are okay, but I think it looks like you need to boost it up a bit. I'm not seeing you're referring to anything. So this is like information that you just pulled off from your head. It's nothing. You're not saying where you read this from. I don't know even whether you have a list. Do you have a list of references at the end? And where are they picked from? So now the methodology, you will need to write it to answer a project that is descriptive. Okay, you need to write now the methodology to answer the descriptive project. Work plan, budget. There's no references here. Kuna references hapo bwana. And this one has to be written in a figure. Sasa Suleiman.
Yes.
You need to talk to me more.
Okay.
Yeah. Any question?
No question.
Good. So Nyaga, is Nyaga in this meeting? Nixon.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I can see his face at least. Nyaga Nixon Mutwiri. Okay, so you need to confirm whether this front page is okay. Usually, the title will be part of the front page. So your front page has gone into 2 pages, so it needs to be one front page. Effect of using fly ash and eggshell powder as partial replacement of cement in production of high strength concrete. You need to take note that Professor Koteng is an expert with high strength concrete, so you really need to have your science right, for when he asks the interesting questions on how you will make your high strength concrete.
Excuse me.
Yes, please.
I
Oh,
can't
it's
see
not
you.
shared.
Yeah.
Okay, let me share it. So I was saying your first page is split as is split into the second page. It's supposed to be 1 page, front page.
Noted.
Abstract is supposed to be a summary of the whole thing. Problem statement. I'm seeing you have a problem statement here. All your figures, and this applies to everybody, they have to be captioned. And if if you're not the one who generated the figure, you have to tell us where the figure came from. So if you pick up figure from, say, Professor Koteng's publication or Muma's publication, you need to say Muma 2022. Main objective to determine the use of that and that as a partial replacement of cement. So 1, determine the compressive strength of reported cement replacement to compare and contrast performance characteristics that the panel will tell you whether this is agreeable or not. Okay. Research questions. Research questions have got to be following the specific objectives. So if you have 2 specific objectives, you have 2 research questions. Okay. Literature review. You need to confirm whether this font is agreeable. It looks a bit not nice. And you're not telling us where this information came from. So you have a lot of information here, or you put this at the beginning. Now, when you say so and so et al., you need to tell us the year. Or you need to refer to that publication. Okay, so which one is this in the list? You understand?
Yes.
Mutwiri hapa hakuna literature review bwana. You need to tell us clearly under different subheadings. You need to tell us the basics of concrete. You need to tell us the basics of cement. You need to tell us the basics of pozzolans, because that's what you're trying to do. You need to tell us about what others have done in terms of pozzolans and eggshell. Basically, you need to review that nicely. This one, the way you've done, now we don't have a literature review here. Sasa Mtwiri.
Yes.
And the fonts, your fonts are not matching. The font here is different. The font here is different. Cement, eggshell powder. Fly ash. Where will you get fly ash from?
From the Aeromarine Capital Group at JTI.
They agreed to give you fly ash.
Yes. They told me to call them.
Yes.
They told me to call them when I'll be needing it to go and talk to them.
Excellent. cause aggregate water, methodology, preparation of samples, mix design. You need to tell us that you will actually design the mix. That was how, and to what method?
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Mix design for M20. So you'll do two different mixes.
Yes.
You talked about high strength concrete.
Yeah, that is, I have two specific objectives. First is the high strength concrete. Then the other one is for comparing the performance characteristics of M20 and M25.
That M20 and M25, you have to design the concrete. Don't say this in the presentation. We will chase you away. This 1 to 1.5 to 3 and this 1 to 1 to 2. Don't say this in the presentation. Are you hearing?
Yes, I've noted.
This one we don't accept it. So please, you don't mention it.
It's noted.
You need to be clear that each concrete mix you will design. You need to be clear how you'll achieve high strength concrete. Okay.
Yes.
So what is this now? Don't say these stories. Say workability, slump, a short description to what standard, period. Sawa sawa. Kwa hivyo hii mambo ya objective apparatus procedure toa hiyo yote. And include tensile splitting or modulus of rupture. We need to test tensile strength on concrete as well. This has to be in a figure, the schedule. And we have a research budget here. Where are the references, Muturi?
I shall add them.
Huh?
I shall add them. I shall include them.
You, Muturi, you know, you're my friend, but you're making a joke of this exercise. What were you doing during the Christmas break?
I've got another final year project that has got references.
So why did you share this one?
No, I found out that that one has no references, and then I did. That was after.
So we need to have those references, and they need to be properly done. Some things are not there.
Okay, thank you.
Any question, Muturi?
No further question.
Good.
Thank you.
Amos K. Nganga, is he in the meeting? Amos, uko kwa mkutano?
Yeah, I'm in the meeting.
Wewe ndio unaitwa Kagonye?
Yes.
Or the K is Kagonye?
Yes.
Okay. What does the name Kagonye mean?
What does the name Kagonye mean?
Or you don't know?
I'm not sure.
All right. It's always good to know what your names stand for. I also don't know. I've just asked because it's a unique name. I don't think I've met somebody else with that name. Okay, so Amos, this is your proposal, and of course the first page, as I've told the others, you need to confirm. This doesn't look right. What is the title?
The title is Mechanical Stabilization of Black Cotton Soil. It's a foundation material for constructions, for buildings and loads using sand. I agree there's some key details missing on this one.
So Amos, what do you want us to do? There's let me tell you, there's 18 of us in this meeting. Document and spend maybe 10, 15 minutes, the whole 18 of us on this document. Amos, I'm coming to you.
Yep,
Amos,
I can hear you.
do you want us to look at this, the whole 18 of us?
No, I don't.
Because
I
there's
don't
no
want you
proposal
to.
here.
I don't want you to look at it anymore.
Okay, but Amos, I expect a little bit more seriousness than this.
Yes.
Nasikia, Amos.
Yeah. Nimesikia.
But today is Saturday. Today is Saturday. Is a function I should have gone to. I woke up very early, took my people there, rushed back to the house to attend this meeting with you, Amos. Yaani nimekosa kwenda hiyo function, nikuje kukaa hapa kwa meeting na wewe, alafu unatupatia document iko na mchezo. Hii pana mzuri. Amos?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Amos?
Yes.
Please,
yeah, that's all.
Fanya mchezo na hii maneno.
I will collect on that very quickly.
Amos, unajua sio mimi nitapatiwa degree, ni wewe. Na if I notice that consistently somebody is not serious, I also refuse to give them my time, because my time is precious. It's opportunity that I should be sitting here on a Saturday to listen to you, and then you present to us this kind of document. I mean, can't you even talk to your classmates and see what they're doing? Hii document page ngapi? Page 7. Not good, Not good at all, Amos. I expect better in the next presentation. Let us see who else is here. Matasero Bravis Quemoy. Bravis, are you in the meeting?
Yes, I'm in the meeting.
Bravis, okay. So let me just show the rest of this group what you have presented to us here. Matasero Bravis. Okay, so this is your document, Bwana Bravis.
Yes.
And it's also grossly incomplete. So, stabilization of black cotton soil using bagasse ash. We didn't agree on this one, did we?
We agreed on it. You told me to research more on it, but the topic was okay.
Yeah. So you want us to look at this document?
Yes.
Investigate the properties of expansive black cotton soil when stabilized with bagasse ash. Test, determine. This work is more on geotechnical engineering. And my hope was that Dr. Owayo would assist us with this work. But you know, Dr. Owayo has left the university.
Yes.
So I'm not sure whether we will be able to proceed with this. Who else has taught you geotechnical engineering at the university?
So far, it's Owayo.
It's only Owayo.
Directed to Mr. Obara this time. He's taking us through geotechnical engineering.
Okay, so I am thinking, please give me a call on Monday. We see if we can reassign you to Obara, because these things you're talking about, if I pretend that I will be able to guide you, I will not. I'll be just lying to you. And you know, it's not good to say you know something that you don't. Me, I don't know these things.
Okay.
Sawa. I think this one, let us request Obara talk to me on Monday. We see if we can ask Obara to look at that.
Sawa sawa.
Do we have Brian in the meeting? Brian Bisonga.
Yes, I'm present.
Okay, great. Let me share your document here. So, investigating the appropriateness of adopting the use of locally available sisal fiber as an alternative to imported carbon fiber for the purpose of retrofitting. Okay, so I really like this idea, this subject of retrofitting. Your front page is not agreeable. Brian, sawa.
Yes.
There are many other sections before you get to chapter 1 introduction that are also not part of this document. No abstract, no table of contents, no nothing. Please check what your colleagues are doing and do that. Previously, the appropriateness of adopting the use of locally available source of fiber as an alternative. Okay, Brian.
Yes.
What exactly do you want to retrofit?
Slabs, columns, and slabs and columns.
My thinking is that if you say that, you will get stuck because that is too much work. I want you to pick a simple element, even if it's a slab element, that we can actually cast in the lab and load in the lab. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
So that then we simplify the problem and then we see if we can actually find some bit of carbon fiber. Are you able to find carbon fiber?
Yes.
Because it's comparative, what you want to do. So that then we have a simple element, is a slab element or is a small beam element that we can actually prepare in the lab, place on a machine and load. So we retrofit it. We have some samples that we load to failure maybe, and we retrofit with carbon fiber, and some samples that we load to failure and retrofit with sisal fiber, and then we load these and we pick the important parameters of those elements, and we write a report on that. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
So with that, therefore, this will be specific. You will say if it's a slab element or it's a small beam element. And similarly, this will be specific as well. So either you say small slab element or small beam element. It's a lot of work to do that retrofit thing, even on small elements, on small samples. To assess the quality standards of adoption, I wouldn't have this. To determine so remove that number 1, determine the effect of strength to weight ratio on adoption of, how will you
Okay,
how will you measure that?
I will take the carbon fiber and the sisal fiber, and then I'll tie them to a weight, and the strength will be like the amount of weight it can hold, and I'll divide the strength by the weight of the fiber.
No, Brian. What I think you want to do, and you could have this as your objective number 1. You could say you want to characterize these two fibers. And the way you do it is you would take this material to a tensile strength testing machine. Mechanical engineering is a good place to do this. You can talk to them, see if they have this machine, you prepare your small samples. Of course, you keep talking to me so that we agree how you do it. So we test the sisal and we test the carbon fiber, so that then we can compare these two, but not strength to weight ratio. Both of these materials are extremely light materials. The sisal mat is a very light material. The carbon fiber is also very light material. Structurally, their weight is irrelevant. In terms of structural engineering, the weight of the carbon fiber or the sisal fiber is it's not an issue. We don't even think about it. So it will be tensile strength of these materials. Evaluate the effect of thermal insulation. How would you evaluate this?
Thermal insulation, I'll like measure the temperature or the internal temperature and the external temperature
of
and
what?
See if the, of this of the fibers and see if they the structure
Brian,
changes.
Brian,
Yes.
did you copy paste this work from somewhere?
No.
I am asking again because I get very irritated when somebody presents something that is copy pasted. Did you copy paste this work from somewhere?
No, but I researched some websites and found.
Wewe Brian bana, usilete mchezo eh. Mimi naona kama utakuleta mchezo na hii kazi. We agreed that no copy pasting. You don't write things that you don't know how they're done. You don't even know what you're talking about. And then you come and say, this is my proposal. Namna hiyo bana, hiyo inaleta bana, spoils my mood kabisa. This is not good. The topic is good. The content is copy pasted. You didn't even think about it. You just lifted and put. And that's not agreeable. Go think through and see and write something that you have thought about. Then let's discuss. Caesar is in the group, in the meeting. He's the one who set up the meeting. I hope he's not dropped off. Caesar, are you still here?
Yes, I'm here, bro.
Okay, so this is your document. Investigating the effect of using molasses as an admixture to concrete. Just okay, so front page, you need to do something about it. It doesn't look standard. What do you want the molasses to do, Caesar? What effect do you want them to have?
Well,
concrete.
Can you hear me?
Yes, it's you're a bit faint, but I think I can hear you.
Okay, molasses. I want to use molasses as a retarder, to be specific, because sugar has been proven to be used as a retarder in concrete.
Let me ask another question. You can answer or you can be thinking about it. What problem are you trying to solve?
Try to reduce setting time by improving workability, by reducing setting time, and as well as improving.
Let's go slowly. Let's go slowly, Caesar. When you put a retarder, do you increase setting time or do you reduce setting time? When you put in a retarder, do you increase or do you reduce setting time?
It takes a lot. It takes quite long to.
When you put in a retarder in concrete,
yes,
do you increase or reduce setting time?
It reduces the pace of setting.
You don't reduce So you increase the setting time.
Okay.
Not reduce the setting time. Ndio namna hiyo?
Sawa prof.
Or you are lost.
Okay, it returns.
You guys, you are having ideas that you're not even sure what you're trying to do. Abstract is missing.
I've noted that.
You need to answer that question. What is the problem that you're trying to solve? Okay. To investigate the effect of using molasses on an admixture as an admixture, I would prefer that you make this specific as a retarder or something, because admixture is a large umbrella word.
Okay.
Yeah, the trend of concrete compressive strength development, various dosage molasses, determine compare strength development. Workability would come before number 1.
Okay.
And number 3 would come before number 2. So you have actually flipped them. And I wouldn't talk about particle size distribution. I would talk about characterization of constituent materials.
Okay.
So that then you do particle size distribution, you do chemical analysis of the molasses, you do all the other things that you need to do that will inform the science of the behavior of the material. Okay. So this would be what you're putting as 3 would be number 1, and it would be characterization. Then the second one, it will not just, you see, you have just mentioned something very important, which is missing from your objectives. You're talking about workability, but workability is just one of them. When you talk of a retarder, you also want to talk about setting times, initial and final setting times. So this has to be investigated if you're studying a retarder. Okay, so you need to find a way to say that, and then now talk about strength development. And we wouldn't just want to talk about compressive strength, we need to talk about tensile strength as well. Because we cannot, if we don't go to the tensile and say, so the tensile strength of this concrete is this much, if we put in the retarder, this is how it is affected. I'll tell you something else, Caesar, for your interest. Go read on the testing of chemical shrinkage. This is easy to do. Is another one. And is more demanding, but these two give an indication. Of the early reaction, early age, let me call it early age reactions of cement. This is easy to do. It can be set up in the chemistry lab at the university. You just need a constant heat water bath and some few glass containers and things like that. This one you can. I've done both tests. This one is easy to test even for you. If you could include as part of your testing, instead of just initial and final setting time, if you could test for us chemical shrinkage of these. I'm imagining that you have cements with different dosages of this molasses, that would give very interesting data, very nice data to put in your report so that it makes your report interesting to read. It's food for thought. If you think you want to go that direction, you could go that direction. Literature review, we have concrete, we have aggregates, coarse aggregates, fine aggregates, natural river sand, molasses. You need to tell us the science of how retarders slow down the reactions of concrete. I am not seeing that here. And that is the heartbeat of your study. You need to tell us the science of how retarders generally retard them. And that's the science that you will need to present in your slides when you're making a presentation of this proposal. That's the science that you want to present, or that's part of the science that you want to present. Materials preparation, coarse aggregates, fine aggregates, concrete mix. You didn't mention molasses anywhere.
I did.
Caesar,
I did mention.
where is the molasses here? Oh, you said Juja molasses shop. Oh, so there's a molasses shop in Juja.
It's Jaja in Komarov.
Oh, Jaja.
Yes.
Where? Komabi.
Komarov.
Komarok.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So I think we'll refine this methodology as we go along. So we have that. I have a big problem with your references. Where is the date for this one? Is it a journal? So these references, you really need to just go over all of them again and ensure that they are, they are okay. Any question?
I'm okay, bro.
Good. I think there's some of you, and okay, so we have been joined by, due to the redistribution that we did of supervisors, there are few students that are joining this group that I'm supervising, and I had requested that they join us in this meeting. Gentlemen, are you in? Are you in this meeting? The students that were meant to join us.
Yes,
Hello?
we are in, sir.
Yes, okay. So Ismail,
Yes.
Karibu. How many are you that have joined now, today? Yeah? Is yourself, Ismail?
I'm also in.
This is Brian Lekishon. Who else? Okay, so there's two of you. Ismail.
Yes.
How many total are you supposed to be?
5.
5, eh? So there are 3 that didn't manage.
Bright was here, but I think she has just left right now. We were 3.
Okay. So what I want you to do, because you are coordinating them, we absolutely have to meet when we have to meet, so that we can make progress. Now, because you two are in, I want to give you opportunity to share your ideas, and this is how I've always done my supervision. Even these guys you're seeing, they have some draft proposals of some sort. This is how we started. We just met, all of us in a group, and everybody just said their thoughts. So I want to allow you an opportunity to share your thoughts, and then you tell us what you propose to study. Then I will tell you my thoughts as well, and then we proceed. So we start with you, Bwana Coordinator Ishmael. What is what are you proposing to do?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes. Bill, you came late bana, usituharibie mkutano. Bill.
Oh, sorry. My network just went off. I was reloading, so unfortunately.
Bana, mimi nimekuita hapa mara kadhaa ukakuwa hauko. Kwa hivyo wewe ngojea, wacha tupatie wale walikuja hapa mapema nafasi ya kusema mambo yao. Sawa sawa.
Okay, okay.
Yes, Ishmael.
Okay, after
Bright has also
I've
come in.
listened-
Yes.
Yes. After I've listened to what you've told us about the project, I think I'll have to review my title again and
What were you thinking? Just say your mind bana. Usiogope.
yes.
What say your thoughts? These proposals you're seeing, we are discussing now, some of them have come up with 4 or 5 topics before we have agreed. And you've had me rejecting some of them because we have not agreed. The idea is a back and forth. You will do the work. I'm only guiding. So your ideas is what I want to hear.
I was thinking of environmental impact assessment of a highway expansion project.
Oh. Okay, so that might not be a bad project, but I am not able to supervise that. I really don't know much about environmental impact assessment. So, Bwana Ishmael, but if absolutely you
Yes.
have to do environmental impact assessment, then we might have to request that somebody in that area supervises you. Sawa.
Okay.
When Ishmael, when you have, if you choose to pick any other ideas, just get in touch with me and we talk even separately from this meeting. Bwana Lekishon,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
what are your thoughts?
I was thinking to investigate the effect of partial replacement of concrete aggregates with recycled to achieve sustainability, at least.
Brian, recycled concrete aggregates
in concrete for sustainable
you
construction.
know, twende polepole bwana, nimesikia kila kitu. Nimesikia kila kitu kabisa. Sasa first, that subject of recycled concrete aggregates is pretty has been studied quite a bit. Now, my saying that does not mean that we expect you guys to come up with something new. We don't expect you to make discoveries at this level, but we want to also learn from you. We want something that we will say, okay, so this one, even as Brian is working on it, me as his supervisor, I'm also learning 1 or 2 new things. You understand?
Yeah.
This is the first thought that I'm having on that topic, on that recycled concrete aggregate. Now, it doesn't mean that you change completely and walk away from recycled concrete aggregates. What I am thinking is this. You could go and look at what others have done and try to find out if amongst the things that have been done, there's something that has not been covered. Okay? If there's something that has not been covered or is still a question that is pending, then you could zero in on that one and say, okay, so generally this has been covered, but this particular item, there's still some questions about it that have not been answered. so that as you do your work, the rest of us who are listening to you and are talking to you and guiding you, we are also able to learn from you as you do that work. You understand, Brian?
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that I have noticed, which I will throw a caution, is you have thrown in the word sustainability. What do you understand by the word sustainability?
Effectively using the available materials.
That's all.
That's the basic idea.
So you need to read a little bit more on that thought of sustainability. My thinking is that so that you don't complicate your life, you leave out the thought of sustainability. Let people fill in for themselves that thought.
Okay.
Oh, so what this fellow is doing is actually towards sustainable materials. But I wouldn't put. You see, the problem is when you put a term in your title or in whatever you're doing, then whoever is listening to you or whoever is reading your work, they expect to see that addressed adequately within the document or within a presentation. And maybe we might not have the resource to do that. Resource here, I mean the time, the skill, maybe even the money to go and answer that question. So I would leave the sustainability out. I would just zero in on recycled concrete and find out what could be of interest there, because this subject has been studied fairly exhaustively, but it doesn't mean that there isn't something that you could tell us that could be of interest to us. You understand?
Yeah.
Good. Any question, Brian?
Not at the moment.
Good. If you get any thoughts, get in touch with me directly. Let's discuss separately.
Okay.
Bright. I've seen her coming in.
Yes.
I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. It's Bright, eh?
It's Bright.
Yes, Bright. Karibu into this meeting. Sorry, I've not been able to meet you guys in the course of the week. We have changed this meeting with your representative, Ishmael, like 100 times. Eventually, we've managed to meet today. So, Bright, what is your idea? I hope you have seen what these other guys that we have been working with, what they are presenting.
Yes, I've seen. My idea was to discuss on impact of quality control on construction standards.
Impact of quality control
for construction standards.
For construction standards. Let me first digest that. Impact of quality control. For
construction standards.
Construction. I'm listening. You need to tell us a little bit more.
I just checking the title. I was yet to do more on it.
Hello?
Yes, I was to discuss the
quality. Yes, you have to discuss
the impact of the quality control on the standards, like the performance of structures depending on the quality control. I was yet to look into it.
You know, Bright, I'm even struggling to understand this this topic. I'm struggling to understand this topic. So there's the issue of quality control for construction standards. So we're trying to control we are trying to look at how effective quality control is on standards or something like that?
Yes.
Allow me to ask one or two questions, and then I will leave this at that point. How do we control the quality of standards?
By checking
Construction
for the
standards.
quality of the materials used in construction, the workmanship.
Oh, I understand. So this is not the standard, the document, but the standard what is being done. Do I get that correctly?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I was struggling because when you talked standards, my mind went to the Eurocode and the BS, the American standard. Okay, so impact of quality control. I would remove the word standards for starters. Sorry, I got disconnected a bit. Bright, I'm saying I would change this topic to so that it's easier to understand. To say impact of quality control on construction and leave it at that point. What is your thought? What do you think?
I think that's better.
Impact of quality control on construction. I am tempted. Exactly what kind of construction do you have in mind?
Construction of high-rise structures. Buildings.
I am having a suggestion, Bright, that instead of saying construction, you zero in on not just structures, but a particular either type of structure or even material. I am trying to size it down to something that you can do. That's why you're seeing I'm going over this again and again. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? That you see, when we say construction, it could be a dam construction, it could be a bridge construction, it could be a road construction, it could be a water supply system construction, it could be a wastewater disposal or treatment plant construction. So construction is, so that's why I'm asking, construction of what? And you're saying construction of tall structures.
I think
I
I'll
am
narrow
thinking,
down to a material.
I'm thinking it might be better to narrow it down to a particular material. And I'll tell you why I'm having these thoughts. And this subject is an interesting subject. I have one PhD student, one lady PhD student who should be finishing, actually should have graduated last year. Hopefully, God willing, she will graduate this year, who is actually studying a similar subject, but his impact of concrete quality control on the partial factors of safety of the concrete. She's actually writing a PhD on that. So I don't want you to go that direction. I want you to stick with your idea, and I want us to remove this construction because it's too broad and I want us to talk about a material. Sawa Bright?
Yes.
Any question?
No question.
Please, let's pick this up again in the course of next week. Let's discuss again. Now that I've changed your thoughts a bit, go read on it, think about it, think of how you want to do the methodology. Okay? It might be easier to pick existing data for this work. For you, as I've told you, I'm working with a PhD candidate who is writing a PhD thesis on a similar subject. And for her work, she had to do both. She had to do what has been measured on site across the country, and then she had to do laboratory as well. I am thinking for you, one, you want to pick a small region because we do not have the resources for you to go all over the country. And by resources, I mean not just money, but manpower and time and etc. is not there. So small region, it could be Nairobi or a part of Nairobi. Or you could think of a region in terms of just a particular class of contractors. So you know the contractors have got classes, eh? So you could zero in on just a particular class of or category of contractors. So it could be region, geographic, or it could be region, a certain group of contractors. Either you could choose the very big ones, or you could choose the very low ones. We have, generally, what you are trying to study, we have the data for this. We have the data for this. I know what the quality control looks like if you picked either steel or concrete or something. I have that information. Okay, my master's thesis was on steel, and part of what I studied was quality of steel in the country. So that one I know. I also have, in addition to this student who is a PhD candidate, I have a student, a master's student from the University of Nairobi, who graduated, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, who did the similar study, and they pulled out a publication. So I'm thinking you could, between now and when we talk again, think of a region, whether you want to work with region geographical or region just a certain group or category of contractors. The bigger contractors are easy to work with. They have data, they keep good records, they have the array of projects, they can give you good information for you to quickly then analyze and draw conclusions and write a good report. The smaller contractors, they're more problematic. They have a lot of problems. It's also very interesting because they flout the good practice of construction a lot. So from the small contractors, you will pick a lot more interesting data and observation from the way they prepare their materials, the way they store their materials, the way they measure their materials. Everything about them is just interesting and very good material for just reporting and writing a good report. But they're more problematic. You will not find any reliable data with them. So I'm just giving you insights on what you would find. But I think this is a good topic for you to write on. So read on it, and let's pick it up again in a separate discussion in the coming week. Any question? Right?
No question.
Excellent. Billy, my friend.
Yes.
Okay, so here you see we sat in this meeting for I think more than 2 hours. Yeah, it has come. Great. So Billy, what we have said about the other your colleagues' documents, well, this front page is not right. You need to get the correct format so that this front page has a correct format. And then effect of different plastic fiber shapes in concrete behavior. Okay. Okay, I know we had discussed this a little bit. No table of contents, no abstract. Oh, abstract is here. Okay, this one should not be here then. It should be, if it is a title, then it should be there and not here. But I'm seeing there's no table of contents. The abstract would be on a separate page. I don't know what this one is doing here, but it should not be here as well. I hope, Bill, you're taking notes.
Yes, I'm taking notes.
So there's a problem to investigate how different shapes of plastic fibers can affect the characteristic. The main objective should read as close to the specific to the title of the report as possible. So the way you write your title dictates how you write your main objective. To determine how the different plastic shapes affect the flexural strength. Toughness. Do you have access to this?
The toughness.
Billy.
Yes. I think I was losing you a little bit.
What equipment is, do we need to test for toughness?
I think there's an abrasion machine.
What equipment? You said yes. What equipment? Huh? Sorry?
I'm looking for the name of the machine. It's let me see.
Billy. Pana search kwa Google.
No, I'm not searching.
Billy.
Looking in my notes. Yes.
Sikiza hapa Billy.
Yes.
Kuna jamaa tumekosana hapa asubuhi.
Yes.
Because of writing things that they've not thought about. Now you are my friend, eh? But I really don't like this. You know that, Billy.
Yeah. Yes.
Your design, we will not agree on that. Yeah, I really dislike when somebody writes things for the sake of writing. To determine the permeability of different concrete compositions. This one, and this one, and this one, and even this one, they're basically properties. You can put them in one objective.
Okay.
You can have one objective on the characterization of the material.
Okay.
Sawa.
Yes.
How will you test the permeability? What test will you use? That one you also don't know. You have to ask Google, right?
Yes.
And it's in your document. Oh, yes, you don't know. You have to ask Google, right?
I'm very sorry about this.
Kuna mchezo bwana. You do not have a literature review. What is the science of this fiber? What is the science of concrete? you've basically not said anything. You've hardly made any references. I'm only seeing this reference here. Check what others are doing and try and match. Nasikia Billy?
Yes.
Hello? Are you
Yes.
still there?
I'm here. I'm here.
Bwana wewe ujikaze bwana. Naona mambo yako pana mzuri. We are talking of constituents, not raw materials. How will you prepare this?
Oh, I think my screen has hung. I'm trying to note the where you're noting.
Okay, let me stop presenting and try again.
Okay.
It could be maybe the problem is from my end. Because the network I was using has become slow. Now you can see.
Yes, now I can see now.
Okay, so you're talking of monofilament fibers, fibrillated fibers, microsynthetic fibers. Meh. What is meh? What is meh?
I think I misspelled it.
What is meh?
It was supposed to be mesh or grids.
Okay, how are you going to prepare this? Or you have to ask Google as well?
No.
Have you thought about it?
The plastic manufacturing company. I'll contact them. I know.
You have not contacted them, and you're telling us that this is what you want to test. What if you can't find them? And you remember there's something you wanted to do, and I told you this one you will not be able to do, and you went and found that you will not be able to do. You remember?
Yes, I remember.
So between now and Monday, Billy,
yes,
you need to tell me how you will prepare this, because most probably you need to prepare them yourself.
Yes.
Sawa sawa.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I don't like this presentation, man. Okay, your time schedule, we are presenting this in a figure, not a table. So you need to do that.
Okay.
Okay. Again, this is not complete. This is not complete. What is this? Is this a journal or something? So these ones you have to also rework.
Okay.
Just out of interest, you had a short, well, you had some few days over Christmas. What were you doing? I thought you guys you would refine this thing, and we started with you, since last year. Bill.
Yes. Unfortunately, the one that is here.
Sasa utakuwa umetengeneza the one that is here. Hello, Billy. The one that is here is what?
I'm going to refine it. Because I think I lost one which I had refined. Of course, this one was sent earlier last year when we were almost closing. So, but I'm going to work on it. I'm going to work on it.
I expect a good job. You guys, everybody in this meeting is a brilliant fellow. You can do a good job if you want to. So when I see work that is not up to standard, I feel like you guys are not taking this work very seriously, and that is not in very good taste. So please, ladies and gentlemen, please let's put in as much effort as possible. Let's conclude this. Those that we are agreeing, The next meeting, I want to see draft presentations. I've taken you through what generally I would expect, but I want you to make those presentations, and then you collect them, share them with me, and then let us look at them. Let's go over them in a manner similar to what we've done today. It's a bit tedious, but we have to do it because we have to get it right, so that you don't get harassed too much when you make your presentations, and so that we also do a good job and we are proud of it. And the guys who come after you will tell them, please pick somebody's document and read it. It was nicely written. Okay, so I want to stop this meeting at this point. Anybody with a question or an issue or something before we close this meeting? Any thought, any comment? Great. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and let's keep talking on these matters.